These were the scenes last March. Hundreds of taxi drivers hijacked a press conference with the former Premier, who was set to announce a new metro bus service to the university. 1 year on, and they say business is still suffering. Drivers claim they've recorded a 30 to 40% loss in revenue since the introduction of the free bus back in 2009. Many of Wollongong's cab drivers say without government support, they'll be driven away from the profession. From a fare-evading clown to a man who can't stop dancing, an uncomfortable visit to the doctor, and a lifelong couple who entertain one another. This year's 20th Tropfest showed Wollongong locals for the very first time why it's now known as the world's #1 short film festival. 8 arrests in the first 6 weeks of this year. A clear message, police say they're cracking down on graffiti vandalism. Another year, another birthday, but few are this special. Wineries may have finally released prices for wine grapes, but many growers aren't sticking around to find out how much they're worth. The race is months away, but its return is already eagerly anticipated. Even the Lord Mayor is getting into the spirit. Another scam, and anyone could be the next victim. That's the grim new warning from the Australian Taxation Office. This is the site of the proposed $10 million development. It would be home to more than 30 aged care blocks, helping to cater for Kiama's housing shortage and ageing population. But today, not the result the developer was hoping for. Among concerns are pedestrian safety and the impact to school students on Victoria Street. There's also noise and disruption and the preservation of the existing quality of life. They'll all be taken into account when the Roads and Maritime Service conducts its review. The Deputy Mayor is a supporter of the Southern Bypass option. The road is used by thousands of drivers every day, but the long-awaited upgrade has been halted over who funds 5 service lanes. The last days of the election campaign are heating up in Wollongong. Lord Mayoral hopeful and Ward 1 candidate Greg Petty brought in a familiar face today. Former member for South Coast and corruption fighter John Hatton endorsing the lead independent. The truck driver is calling on all candidates to disclose their political donations before Saturday's election. We're less than a week out from the election and the campaign in Shellharbour has turned fierce. They've still got another year left of school, but today hundreds of students gathered at UOW to experience a day in the life of a uni student. It's the day they've been waiting for, partners braving the start of school. It's one of the most aggressive forms of cancer, but one of the easiest to treat. Many men still aren't protecting themselves. 1 in 10 Australians could have a disorder. It's been years in the making, but today 25 nurses took their first steps into the future. It's the most common internal cancer and the second biggest cancer killer in Australia. A simple test could be the difference between life and death. Last year, the Federal Health Minister announced the Illawarra and Shoalhaven divisions of general practice would merge to become the region's Medicare local, and on Monday it's finally coming into fruition. It's the classification of mental health that has come under fire from psychiatrists. It all started in November 2010. University researchers at the Illawarra Health and Medical Institute joined forces with local clinicians to develop a promising new drug. Known as Fluoridex, the development of the drug has come to a standstill as funds for the $1 million clinical trial dry up. Josh Mathews, Win News.